Across the vast African plains under a golden sun, one animal stands out as both familiar and mysterious: the zebra. Its sleek black and white stripes have fascinated humans for centuries, inspiring artists, scientists, and storytellers alike. But here's the question that still puzzles biologists today: why do zebras have stripes at all? At first glance, the answer seems simple. Maybe it's camouflage. But think about it. Black and white stripes don't exactly blend in with tan grass or green trees. So what purpose could these bold patterns possibly serve? From school books to safari documentaries, we've been told many theories: that stripes confuse predators, that they help zebras recognize one another, or even that they keep them cool under the scorching African sun. Yet as it turns out, the truth is far more complex and far more fascinating. Recent research reveals that those stripes may create a kind of optical illusion, one that bends light, tricks insects, and even manipulates the way predators perceive movement. What looks like a simple coat pattern might actually be one of evolution's cleverest survival tools, a natural masterpiece hidden in plain sight. So today, we're diving deep into this question: why zebras have stripes, nature's optical illusion. The answer isn't just about beauty or biology. It's a story of evolution, deception, and the surprising intelligence of nature's design. Picture the African savanna, a rolling expanse of tall golden grass, scattered acacia trees, and shimmering heat rising from the soil. It's a place of breathtaking beauty but also of constant danger. Lions, hyenas, and leopards stalk the plains, and every movement in the distance could mean the difference between life and death. Here, zebras, members of the horse family known scientifically as Equus quagga, have evolved over millions of years. Their ancestors once roamed the same lands as early humans, sharing this vast ecosystem with elephants, wildebeests, and antelope. But among them all, zebras are the ones that have become instantly recognizable, not because of their shape or size, but because of their pattern. Scientists have been asking the same question for more than 150 years. In the 1800s, even Charles Darwin pondered the mystery of the zebra's stripes. He suspected they might have something to do with camouflage, perhaps helping zebras blend into the tall grass. But others disagreed, pointing out that such bold black and white patterns are the opposite of what animals usually use to hide. Later researchers proposed new ideas. Some thought the stripes acted like a barcode, helping zebras recognize each other within their herds. Others believed they might play a role in heat regulation, that the alternating dark and light stripes create tiny air currents, cooling the zebra's skin in the hot African sun. And yet, despite all these theories, no single answer ever seemed to fit completely. Predators can still spot a zebra easily. The temperature differences between black and white stripes are minimal. Recognition alone couldn't explain why no other grazing animal evolved such striking patterns. That's when scientists began to consider something unexpected. Maybe the stripes weren't meant for predators at all. Maybe, just maybe, they were meant for much smaller enemies. This shift in perspective would open the door to one of the most fascinating scientific discoveries about animal adaptation in modern times. And it began with the tiniest of creatures, flies. For decades, scientists assumed that the zebra's main enemies were its large, toothy predators. But in the early 2000s, researchers began paying attention to a much smaller threat: biting flies, particularly tsetse flies and horseflies. These insects don't just irritate zebras. They spread deadly diseases like trypanosomiasis, which can cause fever, weakness, and even death in large mammals. To a zebra, these tiny flies are more than a nuisance. They're a constant danger, and here's where the stripes come into play. In 2012, researchers at the University of Lund in Sweden conducted a fascinating experiment. They placed boards painted in different shades, black, white, gray, and striped patterns, in areas swarming with biting flies. The results were shocking. Flies avoided the striped surfaces almost entirely, while landing frequently on solid colors. It was as if the stripes created some kind of invisible force field. But why? Scientists realized that the black and white bands reflect light in very different ways. Flies are attracted to the way light bounces off dark, uniform surfaces. It helps them locate animals to feed on. But when light hits a striped pattern, it scatters in multiple directions, confusing the insect's vision and navigation systems. To them, a zebra might appear to flicker or disappear, disrupting their ability to land. Even more interestingly, high-speed video studies later showed that when flies approach zebras, they often veer off at the last second, as if their brains can't process the alternating light and dark signals. In essence, the zebra's coat is a natural optical illusion, engineered by evolution to repel one of Africa's deadliest pests. This discovery reshaped how scientists thought about animal coloration. For the first time, the stripes weren't just decoration or random beauty. They were armor. Not against teeth and claws, but against wings and stingers. And yet, that wasn't the end of the story. Because once scientists began to understand that stripes could repel flies, they started to notice something else. The zebra's pattern might also serve another purpose, one just as extraordinary: confusing the largest predators on the savanna. For generations, predators like lions and hyenas have relied on sharp vision and precise timing to hunt. A zebra standing still in the open is an easy target. Its bold stripes make it stand out. But a zebra in motion is a completely different story. When a herd begins to run, hundreds of black and white patterns start to blend and blur together. The air shimmers with heat, dust rises, and suddenly, it becomes almost impossible for a predator to focus on a single individual. What's more, the flickering light bouncing off their coats can create a strange optical effect, a kind of dazzle camouflage. This phenomenon isn't unique to zebras. During World War I, naval ships were painted with bold, zigzagging black and white lines to confuse enemy submarines. These dazzle ships didn't make the vessels invisible. Instead, they made it hard to tell their speed and direction. Scientists now believe zebras use a similar trick, millions of years before humans ever painted their ships. When lions watch a running zebra herd, the alternating stripes may distort depth perception. It becomes difficult to judge how far away a zebra is or how fast it's moving. The predator's brains struggle to track an individual target amid the flickering waves of contrast. For a hunter that depends on precise timing to leap, even a moment of hesitation can mean the difference between dinner and failure. Interestingly, high-speed camera studies at the University of California, Davis, revealed that zebras moving in groups are even more confusing to the eye. The stripes appear to merge into a flowing pattern, creating a visual haze that disrupts tracking. Some researchers call it motion dazzle. And this optical illusion doesn't just help zebras evade predators. It strengthens their social behavior. When they move together, shoulder to shoulder, their patterns merge, transforming the herd into a single shifting entity that's hard to isolate or attack. It's collective defense through confusion, a symphony of stripes that disorients the enemy. But this story of survival doesn't end with flies or lions. There's another theory, one that links those mesmerizing stripes to something deeper: communication, identity, and individuality among zebras themselves. Beyond confusing predators and repelling flies, zebra stripes might play a surprisingly emotional role, helping these animals recognize one another in a world where they all seem to look the same. Up close, no two zebras are truly identical. Each has a unique pattern of black and white, like a human fingerprint. Scientists studying zebra herds in Kenya's Maasai Mara have observed that mothers and foals rely heavily on these distinct stripe patterns to identify each other in the chaos of the herd. In the first days after birth, a mother zebra will often separate herself from the group, allowing her newborn to memorize her stripe pattern before rejoining the others. The stripes may also serve as visual cues for social behavior. Zebras groom one another frequently, using their teeth to nibble and clean each other's coats. Some researchers believe these stripes act as landmarks, helping zebras identify who's who and strengthening their social bonds. In large herds, this recognition is crucial. It builds trust, unity, and even hierarchy among individuals. Then there's another fascinating idea: thermal regulation. Studies show that the black stripes absorb more heat while the white stripes reflect it. This contrast can create tiny air currents across the zebra's body, potentially helping them stay cool in the African sun. Although this effect alone might not explain the evolution of stripes, it could be a useful side benefit. Nature rarely wastes a good design. When you put all these layers together, the zebra's stripes reveal themselves not as a single-purpose adaptation, but as a multifunctional masterpiece, repelling flies, confusing predators, and guiding social life all at once. It's a reminder that in evolution, beauty often hides utility, and the simplest patterns can carry the deepest meaning. But as scientists continue to study these extraordinary animals, one final question remains: what do these stripes tell us about the power of perception itself? When we look at a zebra, we see beauty, sharp contrast, elegance, and mystery. But through the lens of science, we also see a lesson in adaptation and perception. Those stripes are more than decoration. They're proof that survival often depends not on strength or speed, but on how you're seen, or not seen, by the world around you. The zebra's coat challenges our assumptions about camouflage and visibility. It shows us that in nature, standing out can sometimes be safer than blending in. By turning vision itself into a weapon, manipulating how predators and parasites perceive them, zebras remind us that evolution doesn't just shape bodies, it shapes perception. This insight ripples far beyond biology. Engineers studying zebra patterns are exploring how similar optical illusions might reduce insect landings on livestock, or even influence clothing design in tropical regions. Artists and designers have long drawn inspiration from these stripes, seeing in them a perfect balance between contrast and harmony. Ultimately, the mystery of the zebra's stripes reveals a timeless truth. Nature is an artist and an engineer all at once. What we see is beauty, evolution built for purpose, and in those patterns lies a message about complexity, that even the simplest forms can hold countless meanings. So why do zebras have stripes? The answer isn't one thing, it's many. They're shields against biting flies, illusions that confuse predators, and patterns that help families stay connected under the African sun. Their stripes are nature's optical illusion, a masterpiece painted by evolution itself. Next time you see a zebra, remember, those black and white lines tell a story written over millions of years, of survival through deception, of beauty with purpose, and of nature's endless creativity. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think is the most fascinating explanation for the zebra's stripes? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into nature's hidden designs, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more stories like this, and share it with someone who loves discovering the secrets of the wild. Because sometimes, the greatest wonders aren't in what we see in them, but in how we see it.